All right, well, I'll go ahead and get started. If we have any latecomers, they can join us. My name is Meredith. I am a librarian over at the Harrington Library. So today we are covering Make Your Mark with Technology Skills, and I will be introducing the Microsoft Global Skills Initiative and library resources that will help support learning technology skills. So what we will cover, we'll explain what the Microsoft Global Skills Initiative is, how to use the resources that this initiative is providing access to, and how to register for the Microsoft certification exams. And then finally, we will look at some additional library resources that can help develop these skills and other related ones that are in the technology field. So, the Microsoft Global Skills Initiative is a program that was launched by Microsoft in response to the economic situation caused by COVID. They did an analysis of the top 10 career fields based on workforce trends, and then they brought together some resources from 3 parts of the Microsoft Corporation to provide learning materials and reduced fee for certifications in the Microsoft technology areas. So the 3 sections of Microsoft that are involved in this are LinkedIn Learning, which offers specialized learning paths to earn badges of completion. These can be used in your resumes to highlight that you have taken an effort and learned some skills that are very useful for a field that you're going into. They've also provided resources for job searching and interview prep on the website. Then there is the Microsoft Learn aspect to it. This one has prep courses for the various certifications that are offered, as well as reduced exam fees for Microsoft technology certification. And when I say reduced, I mean significantly reduced. If you self-certify that COVID has impacted your job, then you can take these exams for $15 when they usually range from $90 up to $160 per test. So that is a significant discount. And then finally, GitHub Learning Lab, which is a bot-based learning tool to practice new software developer skills. So there is this website that allows you to access various scenarios and learning environments to work on your skills that you learn in the LinkedIn Learning and Microsoft Learn courses that you take. Now, to use all of these, you do have to have an account for each one. They are free accounts, so you just sign up and get access. LinkedIn Learning is normally not free, but the account necessary for it, which is a LinkedIn account, is. You can sign up and through this initiative get access to the specific learning paths for free. Any questions so far?
None in the chat.
Okay, so there are some very important deadlines to this. This initiative was launched earlier in the year, and you do need to register for your Microsoft certification exam by December 31st, so the end of the year, in order to get the $15 reduced fee for it. They will also be ending the free access to the LinkedIn Learning Paths by March 21st, 2021. But this is also where the library's access to resources can be helpful. If for whatever reason you cannot get done by March 21st, we do have a lot of these learning paths available through lynda.com, which is basically the exact same thing as LinkedIn Learning. In fact, it will be migrating over to LinkedIn Learning early next year. So I'm going to switch over to my browser so I can show you how to get to these various resources. Okay, so at opportunity.linkedin.com, you can get access to all of the resources that are part of this initiative. In here, you'll have access to the Learn Skills for In-Demand Jobs, and this is where you get to the learning paths. The Search and Apply for Jobs, which is where there are resources for improving your skills in searching for jobs, as well as giving you access to job searching tools. And then Prepare for Interviews. So let's go ahead and look real quick at the two smaller areas first, just because they're, like I said, smaller. So on the Search and Apply for Jobs, you have the option to look for a job through the LinkedIn community. You can also explore career paths through LinkedIn as well. And then you can look at different resources that are available, how to ask for referrals and updating your profile, because LinkedIn is a good tool for job application. You make a profile and it gets you out there where people who are looking to hire can see you. There's also a few free courses available as well. And then Preparing for Interview gives you access to other courses as well related to interview tips, body language, especially digital body language, which is slightly different than working with an interview in person, as well as practice for interviews, preparation tools, tips as well, questions that you can look at and see how to answer. So it kind of gives you some tools to work with. And onto the meat of this initiative, the learning skills for in-demand jobs. So the top 10 jobs that they identified are right here. We've got software developer, sales representative, project manager, IT administrator, customer service specialist, digital marketer, IT support help desk, and data analysis, and a financial analyst, and then of course, graphic designer. Now, all of these are not all technology-based jobs. Now, some of them have technology to one extent or another, but the ones that are going to have the certifications are going to be the ones that are very strongly tech-oriented, like software developer and IT administrator. Just to show you what a option is that does not include the technology. So for a sales representative, it gives you the soft skills, and you can take this learning path and develop soft skills for this. But as you can see, it stops at just the LinkedIn learning path. So we'll back up. So for our more tech-heavy jobs, the ones where you're going to want those Microsoft certifications, you can click on them. And it has links up at the top that allow you to jump to a specific section, or you can just scroll down. And it shows you all of the, well, not all of the courses. These are a few of the courses that are part of the learning path. If you want to see the whole learning path, you can click on the Start Learning Path right up here, and it'll take you to LinkedIn Learning. And this is where you would sign in. Once you're signed in, because this one is free through the initiative, it will let you watch the videos. If you tried to watch it right now, you get this lovely little thing here that lets you know you need to sign in. And that's mostly in part due to if you want to have that certification available, you have to have it associated with your account. So they really need to keep track of it that way. And each course gives you a bit of details on what it's about, who the instructor is, and what skills are going to be covered. It also shows you some related courses, and these you may not be able to access through LinkedIn Learning, but you can make note of them and access them in lynda.com, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. So we'll back up here, and you can see the complete set of courses here. There's 11 total, and once you've completed all of those courses, you will earn your badge of completion. So we'll get back to our Microsoft section down here, and this one shows you which of the various certifications you can get. It shows you the areas are up here. You can click on these, or you can also click here, and these will take you to the exact same spots. It shows you a sample of the courses and then what certifications are related to them. You can, of course, take all of the certifications, or if you know that the particular job you're looking for focuses on a specific certification set, you can just focus on those. When you click on the link, it takes you to Microsoft Learn. And of course, they will offer to give you updates. So you can sign up for emails, but then again, this will fill up your mailbox. So we're going to say no, thank you. And so in here, it shows you what the certifications are, gives you access to the GitHub Learning Lab through this link. And then it also has a link to jobs related to this particular line of courses. It has the fundamental modules and learning paths, as well as additional ones to help you develop and prepare for the certification. And this one you would sign in up top. Some people already have a Microsoft account, and it's really easy. You can just sign in with your Microsoft account, whatever it might be. If you don't have one yet, it's free to sign up. You can do that fairly easily. For the certifications, once you're ready to sign up for it, and you don't have to have completed the coursework to sign up for the certification, which is important because we do have the time limit on when you can sign up for the reduced rate. We get down to the bottom here, and this is the important part. So you can see that this one typically runs $165 to take the test. But if you come down here for job seekers impacted by COVID-19, you can schedule here. So what you do is you click on that, and there's a pop-up here that lets you agree, and it'll take you to the scheduler for scheduling your certification exam. So you'll want to make sure to do this before December 31st because this $15 price is going to go away after that point. Any questions so far?
I don't see any in the chat, but
okay.
You're welcome to type things in if you have a question.
Absolutely. If something comes up later down the line and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think to ask it, ask anyways, and we will bounce back to it. That is perfectly all right. All right, well, that's the basics of the Microsoft Global Skills Initiative and the access to it. If you wanted to get to GitHub, you could also get to it through this page as well. They have a link down at the very bottom. And so GitHub is the, like I said, the tool, the little platform area where you can practice any development skills that you have acquired. And you, like I said, you need to sign in and create an account for that, but you have free access to do that through the initiative. All right, well, we've gone through that, and now let's look at some library resources that can help support your learning as well as expand it if you want to go beyond the scope of what's available in just these 10 learning paths. So with the library at our website, planolibrary.org, you can come up here to the Learn link and then go to Research and Learn. And this will give you access to a lot of different resources. If you're looking for career resources, we've got a lot of options right up here. And lynda.com, which, like I said, is basically the same thing as LinkedIn Learning. It's just kind of the library edition that hasn't switched over yet. You can get access to it here. You click on it, and you can sign in right here. You'd use your library card number and your PIN number to get in. And once you did that, you'd have access to popular learning paths up here. You can see additional ones, and there's quite a few options. They break it up into categories. So you've got 3D animation, audio and music, business. And these learning paths all have multiple courses within them, and it shows you how many hours the total learning path is going to take. You can also look for specific classes, specific courses that you want to take by typing in the top here. So let's say you wanted to learn a little more on HTML. You can do that, and it will show you essential training that you can take. You can pick your various skill levels that you need. And you can also narrow down the subjects a little bit as well and specific softwares that you're wanting to work with. It also has, if you have a particular teacher on here that really just resonates well with you and they do a good job, you can see if they have a course available. And my favorite thing to do is to add these to my playlist, though for some reason it's not showing the option to do that right now. But you can add them to playlists, and once you do, I guess I didn't sign into this one. Let me switch over to sign in so you can see what it looks like. That's probably why it's not showing it. It logged me out. Okay, here we go. So you have access to playlists. Once you've created a playlist and added stuff to it, you can see them here in your desktop dashboard. You can also see training that you are currently taking and have not completed yet in the continue watching area. To look at your playlists, all of them, you can also come over here. Well, that loaded fun. And now lynda.com has vacated. Okay. You gotta love when technology decides to call it a day on you. So you can add them to your playlist by clicking the little plus button by the various courses that are available. All right, another option with the library, of course, everybody is familiar with the classic library books. We do have a decent amount of books on various technology skills, and you can get to those by coming again to planolibrary.org and going to the catalog page. Once you're there, my internet is just going slow today. Here we go. You can type in whatever topic you're wanting to look for. So if you're looking for software development, application software development. And make sure, of course, that you're on the whole system and not just a particular branch, which happens when you're in the library. There we go. So we've got one book for software developer if you wanted to get into particulars like HTML. We've got quite a few more available on that. You can sort them by relevance, or my personal favorite is publication date, especially because sometimes we have a few older books in the collection, and if you want to be most up to date, I recommend picking that one because that'll give you the most current publications that have come out. And then you can put them on hold so that you can pick them up in the library. Right now with our grab and go services, you can, of course, go get it off the shelf for yourself, but we can also have it sent to a library that is easier for you to pick it up. All right, I think that covers all of our resources. So if you have any additional questions, do let me know.
Okay, in the chat, we have posted the link to this Microsoft Opportunity page and also to lynda.com with Plano Public Library. You do need a library card to access lynda.com from the Plano Library. And if
Sorry, what was that?
Someone had asked for the link, so I was just stating which links we have posted. We've posted
Gotcha.
the to the Microsoft Opportunity to these pages that Meredith began with. And we also posted a link to lynda.com. If you have additional.
So Lindsay, to get to the certifications, what you'll have to do, and I'll show you the path again. Let me back it up here. Let's see. I've got to find my page. Here it is. So from the opportunities page where we started, so from this one that Kristen just shared, you'd come to learn skills, and then you'd have to pick the particular career field you're wanting. So say IT support help desk, and then come down to, well, that one doesn't have it. Let me pick one that actually has it. Data analysis. Yeah, here we go. So this one has a much smaller amount of certifications, and you'd click on the Start Learning, and that would get you to Microsoft Learns. And this is where you'd get to the certification. So you'd view certification details here, and there you go. I can try giving a direct link to it, but it would have to be the specific certification you're wanting. So it would depend on that. All right. Any other questions? We do also have some other job-related resources for career development. We have a link on our blog as well as on our website for various resources, including courses that we've offered virtually and recorded, as well as articles and links to various outside resources for job hunting, interview prep, and career development. So do check those out for additional assistance in your job hunting endeavors. And we will send out a recording of this video afterwards. So if you want to reference it later, you will be able to. We'll send out a link to all registered attendants. And if you have any questions, of course, do feel free to email or contact the library for book a librarian. We do have that as an option. Let me see if I can get a link for that, unless Kristen's got one handy. If you want to access it from our website, I'll show you how to get there. Book a Librarian gives you 30 minutes of one-on-one assistance. So if you're having difficulty navigating something on lynda.com or need assistance with that, we can help you out through a one-on-one session. And to do that, I believe it's about, nope. Isn't it? Been too long since
it was, you were on the right one. It's under.
I was.
And there's Learn from a Librarian. It's Help from a Librarian.
Ah, there it is. They've shifted things around on me. It used to be in a different spot. So yes, Help for a Librarian under About. And that'll get you to our Book a Librarian and Ask a Librarian. So Ask a Librarian is if you have a quick little question you want to email about, and we'll email you back or give you a call if you'd prefer a call. And then Book a Librarian is one-on-one help where you get 30 minutes of Zoom assistance. So those are both great options. And let me share the link for you so you can easily get there. There we go. All right. So I think we've covered all of our bases. If anybody has any final questions, please put those in the chats now. Otherwise, thank you for attending.